We have just met people from different backgrounds who are living in Cambodia and are witnessing and winning for the Lord in a variety of ways, from the Philippines and the United States, Germany.
When I fall down, you pick me up. When I am dry, you fill my cup. You are all enough.
And here is Soli, my driver for the day, young minister, where I'll be preaching at his church tomorrow. And here's Ron, my next door roommate. And this is Saturday morning. And we are going to go off, and there's my room up there, and we're going to go visit the ruins of the ancient Khmers, and especially the temples. Over and out. And this is Soli. And this is my first view of Angkor Wat.
Du kan også stå som en lille monument der, du kan.
Okay.
This is a library under restoration. This is one of the libraries. Here's a picture of Soli, and here's a picture of Delmer. And if you look, you can see the holes in the rocks where they used to pull these stones into place. Library. Another library under restoration. And we are at Angkor Wat, Khmer history that goes back to the 9th to the 13th century. About the palm trees that are planted all over the country that hold the water and hold the soil in place, and also providing a very sweet, natural We're enjoying the shade under this palm tree. We've walked about a quarter of a mile, and here is another one of Angkor Wat temples. Back in the distance, you can see a yellow balloon. So you don't go around the world in 88 days, but you can go over the Angkor Wat temple area, which covers nearly 100 miles of these temples. Cambodian Khmer history coming into view out of the past.
To do, I think nobody can do it as in the past. In the past, you know, they take a lot of concentration to do all this carpet. Very impressive.
Yes, it is very impressive. There's just carvings like that all over these buildings, everywhere.
Even the roof have carving.
Even the roof has carvings, Soli says. We just don't have that patience today, and we don't have that ability today.
Day when all the soldiers of both sides were killed and the war finished. But the older brothers cannot win the younger brother because, in the religion, the state, the bad man, it was represented to the demon, and the good one is represented to the God. So, in our religion, they never allow the bad state win the good state. The demon so the God must win the demon.
So the young brother won.
The young, yes.
And so did the girl go with him?
She was already Gordon's wife.
Yes.
I thought she was.
And he was
She was the younger brother's wife. I thought she was the older brother's wife.
and he was helped by God himself.
So the younger brother won.
Yes.
The head's coming in. The decapitated.
But why would he want her? Or I wonder if she had anything to do with that.
Oh no. That guy's but he called it.
Yeah, that's the dog.
And he's beating it.
Yes.
Okay.
And
I'm glad I'm not a golden carrier. Wouldn't see much of the world.
Because if the Muslims are allowed to touch every time, maybe one day it will be gone and no more visitors come here.
Some restoration work being done here.
What? With the poor water. Washing. and then these are priests, and back there are soldiers. And people bring many incense for the king, and they all respect to the king. Say about their heart, they put their hand like this. Put their hand crossed.
So this is the king,
Yes, maybe Surya Varman 7. Right?
Suryaram.
Yeah. They are walking very strictly, and they all respect to the rule of the soldier. They not looking back and forth and walk with their feet. Some chiefs are on the ride on the horse and.
Okay, so the commander gets to ride on the elephant,
Yeah.
and some of the officers get to ride on horses, and others, the soldiers, just walk in single file, and they're very much in step, and they don't look back. And here's our elephant again, and our elephant is carrying some officers with high authority, and they're on their way to battle. And do I understand that they don't come back unless they win? And the priests go along with their bells, and they're praying for the battle. So the priests are also a part of their warfare. They're going to battle against the Siamese and Champa. And who is Champa? What country is that?
Champa is the Muslim country.
That's Champa is the Muslim country that they're going to war against. So here are the frontline soldiers. And you'll notice that here, they're not just looking forward, they're looking back. They're getting closer to the battlefield. And they're talking to one another. Yes, he's looking back and laughing. Going to war with the Muslims and with the Siam. Against the Muslims and against Siam. And Siam is the modern day Thailand, and Thailand has conquered Cambodia many times. Your history, relief that was carved on the stone somewhere between the 9th century and the 13th century. So in this history, they're sculpted here. It's representing the 32 heavens on the top and the 32 hells from Indian tradition. And the hells on the lower register are pictured in greater detail than the heavens above. Each hell is in fact identified by an accompanying inscription. Okay, so now we're looking at the history from the time of the Hindus, and then later on the religion is led by the Buddhists. So these are the descriptions of hell. And up here are the inscriptions of heaven, according to the Indian and Buddhist religions that are just sort of mixed together.
Yeah.
Somebody that's gone to hell, and they're taking a real beating. Up here, they're experiencing another kind of future. And when you've gone to hell, you've got the dogs biting your feet. And you've got the taskmaster, that's the devil, just beating you into hell. Being led away by their noses. See the strings attached to their noses? No chance of getting away from the devil once he's got a hold of you, according to these old religions. And here are the burning of people. Here are the fires of hell. And here they're falling into the great abyss, into hell. Can you see this? Here is a vulture eating the dead. Here's a vulture eating the dead. Here is some real torture. This is hell.
So this is just like the way. Make it clear.
Another hall wrapping around this entire building, giving the Khmer history in bold relief, carved in stone, 9 to 1300 years ago. This section of relief tells about the churning of the Sea of Milk, and it's a episode from Vishnu lore, and the gods are capturing a serpent, the Suki, and they wrap a cord around both ends of him, and they're pulling on one end of the serpent and then on the other end of the serpent until they churn the Sea of Milk in order to extract the nectar of immortality. So they seize the nectar as it's formed, the gods are victorious, and thus they're immortal.
So the churning of the sea of milk.
Churning of the Sea of Milk, capturing a serpent, obtaining immortality. So I'm looking at a sculpting of a great tug of war, everybody hanging onto the rope, and they've got a dragon that they're simply trying to pull apart and to obtain a nectar that will grant immortality. What a theology! And there's hundreds of people who are just pulling on the rope and pulling on the rope and pulling on the rope. And the serpent is on the bottom of the sea.
And then the Vishnu told standing on the tail side of the serpent. And then they began time, formal and backward. So long and long years ago, and very, very fast. And then the fish, crocodile, and dragons, or seahorse, sea lion. Some of them, they have to cut 2 pieces. And some of them like turn upside down and move around. See? And very, very far for churning. And then the mountain collapsed. Yeah, the mountain collapsed. When the mountain collapsed, the Vishnu God, he had one more reincarnate of him, like turtle. See? Like turtle. He holding or support the mountain, standing again. Yeah. And then appearing one Brahmin teacher on the top. Yeah, of the Brahmin God. Yeah. He's standing on the top of the mountain, and he had to holding the top of the mountain, and he moved the mountain. Make the mountain of the churning stick very good standing and strong. Yeah. And good for position. And afterwards, they started into peace. Yeah. So very, very fast. The reincarnate of Vishnu God, that we call him like Buddhist God. He took that horse for his vehicle.
The source of the Buddhist God.
2 of the animals, they have to come in from the churning the sea of milk. And the third time, more churning. Yeah. So very, very fast. Around over 100 years. And then coming up like flower.
So they're pulling the other direction from here.
One more time, like
So we're talking about the Vishnu God,
coming up.
and Vishnu was Hindu, and in this struggle with these serpents under the ground, that's the way that Buddhism came into existence,
The other one God, but nobody had.
and immortality and reincarnation. All of these things began as a result.
Let's believe that Buddha is the reincarnation of Krishna. I'm not sure. He supports the woman You know,
Monkeys?
yeah, he.
But there must have been one or two for the chief. It's hard to say.
Magnificent carving like this all over the building, on all the pillars and all the posts.
This is not already done. This one. They put the stone and then they carve in it.
And more hallways around the outside perimeter of the temple. This section of relief galleries suggests that the Cambodian had been led by the Theravada Buddhist nation, Khmer at that time, but had not forgotten their Brahmanic past culture. The scenes on the northern section of the eastern gallery, thought to have been extracted from the Indian Parivamasha, show that the god Vishnu in the center, singularly defeating the demons.
No one collect the holy water, or taken the holy water, and then they fight together. Either by the Khmer general, yeah, and they made the carving of this, and not so slim, isn't it? Not so nice. Yeah. Look like fat and big face, and look like dwarf carving. You see? Yeah. But 12th century and earlier than around 8th century and 10th century, the carving is very good. Yeah. Made by hand. They use the chisel always. Yeah. They have to train the slaves, like Chinese slaves.
The Vishnu
Right.
god.
Yeah, the Vishnu god.
Later on, in about the 16th century, when the Japanese had conquered this nation, then some of these stone carvings are maybe later on and are not quite as great as the original carvings from maybe the 9th to the 13th century. Is that right?
Yeah, the Chinese.
Oh, Chinese, not Japanese.
Chinese label, Chinese.
Chinese, okay.
Always they have to write.
So the Chinese conquered Cambodia and then wrote their story here, right?
No.
No?
The story about Cambodian history, but Chinese, they are labeled here, they are slaves.
Oh,
After
okay.
they lost the war,
So after the...
and we train them to carve the stone.
Okay, so the Chinese slaves here did this work
But they are stand
of relief. Khmer history, the Buddhists.
when
and
they
the-
change the religion from Hindu to Buddhist.
Say that again?
They change the religion from Hindu to Buddhism.
Okay, here this represents the change from Hindu to Buddhism. So I am learning from this history that when the kings came to conquer, then the people of the conquered nation changed their religion according to the dictates of the king. From Hindu to Buddhism, but today religion is being changed by King Jesus, not with force, but with love and the truth. So here we have the various gods of various times in conflict with the demons. So perhaps this represents the spiritual battle. And all the heads that are cut off just drop down here to the ground. And so we have heads laying down here on the ground. That's battle. Here is a story from the Indian background, which tells of Prince Rama, who was an avatar of Vishnu. And we're talking here about the Battle of Lanka. And in this battle, Rama's monkey army, led by the monkey General Haman, to fight the demon in King Ravana's army. So Rama's army seeks to rescue his wife Sita, who had been captured and held hostage in Lanka, Ravana's island kingdom. Like people just lived to die. Up and away on my beautiful balloon. So we've worked our way all the way around this temple, all the way to the front where we entered. This is going to be a challenge, like climbing a ladder, but there's even more challenges ahead of me. This is the fellow that helped me up the last step.
Okay, I'm from Australia.
From Australia. And I just wanted to look back down those stairs. No head.
If you guys were to make your way around the other side of this, there was a terrific picture, one that's on the postcard.
Here's Buddha.
This is a really original.
And this is the seven-headed snake.
Because no one who cut his neck, his head, and stolen it. The shape of the face is very beautiful, but at the souvenir shop, not beautiful.
And these people all down at the bottom are waiting for somebody to fall.
Radius and almond chocolate either end with beautiful bronze painting there.
So the god Vishnu exactly sleeping on the snake with 5 heads. And then the snake with 5 heads is called Ananta Asisa, crouching on coastal ocean. Yeah. So the snake with 5 heads just asked the bed for God Vishnu to sleep. And then the head, the snake with 7 heads just asked the umbrella to shelter without raining. And the snake with 9 heads just asked the body, just asked the snake.
18th, 1903, finishing a magnificent trip through Angkor Wat, and I hope that you enjoy the trip with me just as much, and I am so thankful for Salah, my guide. Good man. Thank you.